Hello and welcome guys to my in-depth guitar review channel. Today we have a very important question. Is punk music dead? Of course it isn't. Punk will outlive us all. This guitar is the living proof that punk soldiers on. And I feel extremely lucky today because I'm in the company of a Viper and an ASG and this beautiful 2019 LTD Lars Frederiksen signature guitar, and I almost didn't get to review this one. A good friend of mine bought it for his cousin and they brought it for a setup here, and I really wanted to see this guitar in person. Wow, this is extremely light. I didn't expect it to be this light. It's crazy. Well, I guess that punk doesn't die, but it gets old and it needs lighter guitars to jump around on stage. Wow, even though I'm not the biggest fan of Viper shapes, I like this one, and it's actually thinner than the Viper. Another thing that caught my attention and everybody else's are those signature pickups. They are EMG Lars Frederiksen dirty middle fingers neck and bridge pickup combination, and they are passive. He named those pickups after Gibson's dirty fingers, but he just added middle because he's a punk guitarist, of course. 2 volume pods. That was kind of a surprise for me, but Lars actually uses them on stage to do his kill switch shenanigans. Another surprise was this fingerboard. I was expecting rosewood, but this turned out to be Makassar ebony, and it's really fitting for this guitar. Fluorescent side dot inlays, good for dark stages. And what about this distressed finish? I wouldn't think about it too much. This is something like the Truckster distressing. It's not supposed to be realistic, it just looks cool. Honestly, I'm surprised it doesn't have stickers all over it. Tone Pro locking bridge and tailpiece. I saw this recently on an LTD Arctic Metal. And let's check it in further detail, but first I wanna... Oh my god, this is so much heavier. You don't know how light this Volsung is. The Viper is so much heavier. Chunkier neck too. Let's check out the ASG. My god, this is also heavy. Not as heavy as the Viper, but still, those 3 guitars are totally different from each other. But let's put the big brothers aside and check out this bad boy. Time for Wikipedia. Who is Lars Erik Frederiksen? He is an American musician, singer, songwriter and record producer, best known as the guitarist and vocalist for the punk rock band Rancid, as well as the frontman of Lars Frederiksen and the Bastards and the Old Firm Casuals. In addition, he currently plays guitar in the Oxley's Midnight Runners, Stomper 98 and The Last Resort. How are you in so many bands, Lars? You're not even a drummer. He joined Rancid in 1993 after the band was searching for a second guitar player. And he is currently 50 years old. Yeah guys, we are getting old. Your 90s punk heroes are now in their 50s. But hey, let's be optimistic about this. Lars is looking great, still going strong, and LTD apparently made a great guitar for him. And it's not even the first Viper they did for him. Sorry, I meant Volsung. But what does that mean? Let's ask him.
This is my signature ESP Viper called the Volsung. I got the name from Northern European history, and my mom was the one that clued me in on the Volsung, which is a long line of Danish kings that met a horrible end. They like killed each other and stuff.
Wow, charming. What did you expect? Rainbows and unicorns? Another interesting thing about this guitar is the set of EMG dirty middle finger pickups that are signature for Lars. EMG TV has a great video of him explaining why he switched from Seymour Duncan. Long story short, he avoided EMG for a long time because he wasn't a fan of active pickups, but went to ESP headquarters to get one of his guitars and they were all sold out, which was a good thing of course. There was a Viper available with EMG active pickups and he sort of liked them, but he wanted his own thing. He actually asked for some advices from Kirk Hammett himself while they were on tour together. Time to check out this beast in further detail. So here we go. We got Viper mahogany body, 3-piece mahogany neck with thin U profile. One of the surprises for me, I thought this was rosewood, but it is actually Makassar ebony, beautiful. 14-inch radius, 24 extra jumbo frets. What else do we got? We got nickel go to tuners, non-locking. We got molded nut, Tone Pro locking bridge and tailpiece also in nickel. Then we got Lars's signature EMG dirty middle finger set, and the control scheme for them is pretty comfortable. We got a 3-way switch, neck volume which Lars oftenly rolls down. Then we got bridge volume and a master tone. And I will briefly put the specs on screen for you to check out. With the passive pickups out of the way, let's check out what's in the cavities. Even though they are passive, they're still on this quick connect EMG system. Pretty neat if you want to remove the pickups. Let's move it out of the way. We have shielding paint over here, and you can see the neck joint, set neck construction. It's painted over. You can see where the routing for the pickup goes. And of course, after I removed the pickup rings, I noticed the fragile finish. Same with the Arctic Metal series. Be careful with that. Even though it's under the pickup ring, it chips easily. Let's continue with the bridge cavity. Same quick connect system, and you can see the routing for both pickups. Let's check out the hole for the neck from this side. That's pretty much for the cavities. Let's check out those interesting pickups, and they are EMG Lars Frederiksen signature set dirty middle fingers. It's a combination of Alnico 5 at the neck and ceramic in the bridge position. And I really like the covers of those pickups. They look like the James Hetfield set, but with additional screws because they're passive. Let's turn this Alnico puppy and see what's under it. EMG LF DMF N, made in 2019 in USA. You can see the pins for the quick connect system and the screw for adjusting the height. And again, I really like the look of those. Moving over to the bridge one, let's see what's under it. We got EMG LF DMF bridge, made in USA 2019. It's a set. And now I'm gonna show you how the pickup looks connected to the quick connect system. Pickup rings are black and slanted, tall for the bridge, short for the neck. Pickup screws long for the neck, short for the bridge. Measuring the pickups, first we got the bridge at 15.69K. This is hot, I wasn't expecting it to be. Switching over to the neck Alnico 5, we got 7.34K, pretty soft. And then middle position just for kicks, dead on 5. The bridge and tailpiece are a perfect match with the nickel finish of the pickups. We got Tone Pro locking bridge. I've seen those in my last video of the Arctic Metal series guitar. They lock through this Allen bolt. And I'm gonna give you a more detailed look of it. It's metric, Tone Pro. Same situation with the tailpiece, which is nickel, locking, and it locks through this Allen bolt. Here's a more detailed look of it, Tone Pro again. The bridge has those thumb wheel adjustable struts that can also be adjusted with a screwdriver, but I wouldn't do that because the top always ends up scratched and bent like this. I've destroyed an ESP bridge before. Black speed knobs I've seen on a lot of Gibson Les Paul custom guitars. We got neck volume, we got bridge volume, and then we got master tone. And a cheap 3-way switch that needs to be replaced. 3-piece mahogany neck that has binding for the fretboard, 24 extra jumbo frets, and this beautiful Macassar ebony fingerboard. Just look at the streaks that go through it. I thought this was rosewood, but no, it's ebony and it makes a difference. It's a bit darker. On the side of the fingerboard, we got those really useful on dark stages fluorescent dot inlays. A really nice feature, and we got acrylic dot inlays. Time to get the measurements. The molded nut is 42mm wide or 1.65 inch. The width at the 12th fret is 52mm or 2.04 inches. Thickness at the first fret is 19.5mm or 0.75 inch. 12th fret thickness 21.5mm or 0.84 inch. 350mm or approximately 14 inch radius, shreddy. And the neck profile is this comfortable thin U at the 1st and 12th frets. The 42mm composite molded nut is the one thing that I would replace beside the three-way switch on this guitar. Not that it's bad, it's just ugly compared to the rest of the guitar. If that was my guitar, I would have my tech make a black horn nut for it. I forgot that the headstock is also distressed, and it gave me a scare a couple of minutes ago. The truss rod is adjusted by an Allen wrench, and be careful with it because the finish is really fragile here, it might crack it. One screw, and here is, come here, the plastic cover for the truss rod hole. White on the bottom, black on the top. And then we got the typical LTD shaped headstock they use for the Eclipse and Viper series. GoPro nickel tuners and the LTD logo. And before I move over to the back, I wanted to give you guys a closer look of the distressed areas. You can see the mahogany. Again, don't judge this as a realistic distressing. It's just a cool look. Some of my friends called this the Batman guitar, and it looks like Batman was in a fight with it. Satin back as well. Some more distressing and a huge cutaway here. Original strap button here in the front and one in the back. And here we have the electronics cavity. The cables are grouped together pretty neatly, quick connect system so no soldering points, and it's painted with the shooting paint again. Let's take a closer look at the pots. 500K volume, 500K tone, EMG, and one more 500K volume. Then we got the three-way switch and output jack with chrome oval plate. The cover for the electronics compartment is black plastic with shooting on the bottom and those short black screws. Set neck construction for the neck, which is really comfortable and low because the body is thinner on this Viper. We have a cutaway here for high fret axis, another one here on the top, and some distressing. Pretty comfortable access to the 24 extra jumbo frets. 3-piece mahogany neck, satin finished, no volute. We got designed by ESP logo. And please, Rancid fans, educate me, what are those two owls and a branch symbolizing? Back of the nickel, GoPro tuners, looking good. And again, this has no place on a guitar headstock. It's ugly. I'm not gonna throw it away. Made in Korea. Serial number reads W19, so this was made in 2019. The serial number looks like a sticker that is under the poly finish. And speaking of the polyester finish, I should have told you earlier, but this distressing was actually done before applying the poly finish. You cannot feel the edges of the distressing. It's covered with polyester finish on top. A thin layer, but it's there. I'm gonna set this guitar in E standard with 1046 Elixir strings, and a word of advice: when you're putting on the strings, lock the tailpiece in place. It would be much easier for you. Then guide the strings all the way, being careful not to scratch the finish. Same for the headstock, guide them through the tuners and up so they don't scratch it. I've put on the strings and now I'm gonna try to lower the action. Right now it's at 1.75 medium high. I'm gonna try to make it medium or low medium, and I will do that by adjusting those thumb wheels. But first I'll make sure the bridge is unlocked so I don't damage it. I've also checked the intonation and I'm gonna adjust it by slacking the strings and moving those saddles. The low E, A and D are flat at the 12th fret, so I'm gonna move the saddles towards the nut as per the rule of intonation. Another word of advice: don't cut the ends of your strings before finishing with the setup, because I've slackened the strings as you can see and they might slip from here if they were cut. One more advice: always adjust intonation with slackened string, no tension on it, because if it's tense you will end up damaging the saddles or the screws adjusting it. And as I said, we have a new lightweight champion at 2,824 grams or 6.22 pounds. Let's hear it. I wanted to talk about the case. And we got this nice ESP case stitched in leather over here. This is the case model. 3 latches, and it has actual leather handle. It's specifically made for the Viper with this nice plush. What do we got here? Not exactly Christmas. You got the tools for the locking bridge and thrust rod adjustment, and you got the keys. They should have put a certificate or some picture of Lars with this case, but keep in mind I got an ESP custom and they sent me a case with a plastic handle. So the perfect case for the perfect guitar, and I mean it. I think this is the perfect guitar for any Rancid fan. Thank you, George, and your cousin George, for giving me the opportunity to try out this guitar. I'm also George. Everybody in Bulgaria is called George. So subscribe and like this video. See you guys next time.